everyone, and welcome to Power Lunch Live. My name is Andrea from Altitude Connections. It's such a pleasure to have all of you tuning in today. I'm thrilled to introduce our special guest for today's podcast, Andria Delia.
Hi, everybody. Hi to all the viewers. Hi to all my Instagram friends.
Oh, cute. So it's my honor to introduce her, a true powerhouse in the world of cybersecurity and beyond. A renowned expert in cyber threat intelligence, Andrea brings extensive experience in ransomware mitigation, incident response, intrusion analysis, forensics, IT security, and defense tactics. Her role as a certified cyber threat intelligence expert underscores her unwavering commitment to staying ahead of the curve in a rapidly evolving field. Andrea's expertise doesn't stop there. She has successfully led high-profile incident response engagements, demonstrating her ability to protect organizations from critical threats. She is also a dedicated real estate and digital asset investor, combining her keen analytical skills with her forward-thinking approach. With a notable background in public interest law, Andrea has spread-hearted, groundbreaking cases at both federal and provincial levels, shaping case law and delivering justice. What sets Andrea apart is her global recognition as one of the few women to have single-handedly mitigated ransomware attacks on major organizations, a remarkable achievement in the cybersecurity landscape. Her deep knowledge extends into Bitcoin, blockchain, technology, artificial intelligence, and machine learning, where her research delves into AI's profound impact on financial markets. An influential speaker at leading industry conferences, Andrea is also a passionate mentor, inspiring and guiding the next generation of cybersecurity professionals. Her work reflects not only on her unparalleled expertise, but also her dedication to innovation, education, and leadership in every field she touches. Today, we have the privilege of learning more about Andrea's incredible journey, her insights into the ever-changing world of cybersecurity, and the brilliance she brings to her many areas of expertise. Please join me in welcoming Andrea.
Thank you. I will try to make cyber fun. Now that was a big mouthful. And it's like,
Absolutely.
a cyber. Let me click out of this live
Yeah,
boring,
no, no,
cyber
no,
boring.
no.
No,
Don't
no,
click.
no,
Stay
no. Wait,
here.
I can make cyber fun. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Make it fun. That's
I'll
great.
make it fun.
Let's use fun
Yeah.
words for us to understand it
Yes.
better, right?
Basically, if I resume everything that you said about me, how I got into this is because 3 years back, when I knew nothing about cyber, where
Okay.
I thought cyber was the Monday that's coming, Cyber Monday, where you get, deals. That's
Yes.
the extent of like my cyber knowledge
Okay.
back 3 years ago. But I was a victim of cyber fraud. So I had purchased, 3 years back, an iPad, and it was rigged with malware. And unfortunately, I had to go through the justice system. And, I saw that police had no experience with cybercrime, had no technological expertise. I really thought that, the cavalry was going to come like CSI Miami, and
Oh,
it was just a case that was a hot potato. So I decided to take matters into my own hands, bought myself a gaming laptop, taught myself every hacking tool, technique, tactic. So that's why I became so good at now deciphering attacks and exploits. And I get very technical in my work, but it was really out of vengeance
oh,
that I got so good.
what a story. This sounds
Yeah,
like
it
a
is a story.
soap opera to me.
Yeah, It really is a Netflix story, and I'm probably one of the only victims that has turned the tables on, attackers and cyber criminals. And now
Mhm.
I take great pleasure in protecting the public and disrupting, criminal activity as much as I can. So when I come into a ransomware attack, let me tell you, they don't get paid. I have not yet paid any ransom and don't intend to. I always said it. They might have, when they stole from me and I was the victim, they
Yes.
took my money, but they forgot to take my intelligence.
Ah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's smart. So you pursued your intelligence
Yeah.
not only into a hobby but into a career. This
Yeah.
is
There's
only
a
3 years ago?
Yeah, there's this very, there's a silver lining, and I always feel like I was maybe selected by God to have this iPad rigged with malware, and it could have been an iPad that anybody purchased. It was to secure a crypto wallet because back then I had in 2021 invested in Bitcoin.
Okay.
And it really wasn't the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin is, something, a technology that's fantastic. It was actually the device that was rigged by employees of the telecom. So it became one of the biggest, public safety cases Canada has now.
Okay.
But you know, that's, there's a silver. I was chosen because God, I think, knew I wasn't going to give up, even though, law enforcement and, many experts said, oh, you're
Of
crazy, you're
course.
crazy, you're crazy. Well, like I said, I redefined the word crazy. As of now, it's going to be actually a compliment
That's
because
right.
now I speak at the global level. I just came back from Dubai where, I spoke at the world's, leading technology conference
That's
about
amazing.
AI powered ransomware attacks, AI powered threats, and how to actually protect our organizations and critical infrastructure and even ourselves actually.
Yes, absolutely. So, for individuals or small businesses with limited resources,
Mhm.
what are the most critical steps to secure their digital assets?
Actually, it's always, questioning yourself about cybersecurity is really sort of an existential question because,
Hmm.
people think cyber, they're like, but actually questioning yourself about cybersecurity is reevaluating what's important in your life to protect on a
Right.
personal level, on a corporate level, on your professional level. It's actually, something that, should touch us like on our daily lives, like how to protect our children online. That's what cybersecurity is. So, of course, one of the best things is to have like to be mindful of what you're putting online. I mean, we're all online. I also don't stop myself from, living, even though I've been a victim of cyber fraud, but I take into account where try not to expose too much personal information. Like when you have pictures, make sure you don't see an address in the background,
That's
or, like to
good.
put your birthday. I know everybody loves to post like when their birthday is or how old they are, or, all of that stuff. But that
Right.
gives any fraudsters more ammunition and more information about you.
Hmm.
So of course, be as clean as you can with your footprint online. And then one of the easiest ways is to implement multi-factor authentication.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
that's one of the, even if you have a business, it's one of the easiest ways to actually make it difficult for any fraudsters, because we're not talking about, advanced persistent threats and big hackers coming from
Hmm.
like Russia. We're talking about fraudsters that are in our environment. They're not far. They're in your workplace. They're in your, they're in the malls. They're in, they're targeting people when they see like little cracks. So by having multi-factor authentication, you're just making it, adding a layer that makes it hard for them to steal your Facebook or your
That's
Instagram
right.
login.
They probably
Because
give up easily
yeah,
too.
yeah, and they give up because then they have to, go. There's another device that comes into play. And I also have to speak about, because we see a lot of these deep fakes and we see a lot of these fraud schemes.
Right.
And a way to protect yourself is, I say multi-factor authentication, but have that in real life. So when you're getting sort of like, phone call and it sounds like a family member that's telling you that they've been arrested and you have to go get $5,000 cash.
Right.
Have that multi-factor, have a person that you can actually call and say, listen, I have to sound this off you. Like, I got this call. Don't react to things that to phone calls, to emails, to don't be reactive, and don't be distracted. We're very much distracted by
That's
things.
true.
So we
That's
just
right. Well, they
click
even
without
changed
thinking.
the name on the caller ID now. Sometimes you
Yeah, they
think
could
it's your
spoof.
bank calling.
I always say it. Thieves know no bounds.
Right.
They will do anything, and now technology actually allows them to do anything, to reproduce your voice, your image.
That's right.
This is why having a person in your life that you can call, like, I expect my mom that if she ever gets, some kind of, weird request that sounds legitimate, that she would call me or my sister to say, hey, what do you think about this? Or do your due diligence. If you get something at work, go knocking on your coworker's door, or make a phone call to somebody else, just to cross reference and to protect yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And especially the double
Yeah,
authentication, that's so important, and we forget to do it, you know?
yeah,
What
yeah.
is talk about cybersecurity, what is the most challenging case that you've had, and how did you approach it?
uh, Basically, the most challenging case, of course, the most challenging case was my own case as a
Your own,
victim.
right.
um, every case is challenging because the cases that I really work on, they it's hackers, so it's on another level. It's not, there's fraudsters that fraud, and those are low
Okay.
level,
Mm-hmm.
and use basic technology. But when I come into a ransomware attack, these are sophisticated threats, and they use sophisticated tools. The tools and the exploits and the malware that they utilize, the ransomware that they utilize, is very performant, and only few people in the world could recognize and mitigate these ransomware attacks. Unfortunately, a lot of these ransoms are paid, just because people don't have like the technological background. You'll see that ethical hackers are not going to work for law enforcement. When you
That's
can
right.
hack, you're not going to work for the government.
No,
At a
no.
low paying job, let's say. So what happens is that very few people can mitigate. So oftentimes we're afraid, so we pay out the ransom. I don't, because I had to learn all the tactics and techniques and how they use all these tools and all these malwares and all these exploits. When I go in, I actually know what they're doing. And this is sort of what I tell people, to better protect yourself, you're going to have to think like a criminal. I learned what the criminals do. So,
Okay.
I don't hack. I know how to hack, but I don't hack. I don't hack the network. I don't hack them. But I like to say, like, they hack us, but I hack their brains.
Of
So I
course,
know
yeah. So you know
I
how what
know
they're thinking, and
what they've used. I know where they're hiding,
right.
because there's always a person behind the computer. There, it's still like, even though there's a lot of AI powered or artificial intelligence, there's still a criminal behind the computer. So I put myself in the mind of that criminal, and I know his playbook. I know what they use. I know what what tactics and modules and softwares and exploits. So I know where to look. I know where to clean up, and I know how to rebuild and protect and close all those gaps for the
Absolutely.
organizations or
So that
individuals.
helps you as well.
Yeah, but
And
it's sad to see when our Canadian organizations, like I always use the Tennis Canada case, even though I can't really speak about a lot of the details, but our wonderful organizations like that, get hit with ransomware, and it cripples them. These are like 350 endpoints, like, black screens with a very scary
that's
message
right.
that you have to negotiate for millions of dollars. And
Mm-hmm.
then you have to, walk the team through, convince, board of directors, convince, like the top management that
That
we
you're
shouldn't
safe.
negotiate, we shouldn't give anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are challenging moments. But we also don't have law enforcement or the government to help us. And that's where it's most challenging. Even in my case, I was a victim. I should have had a team of law enforcement. Shouldn't have been me. I
Right.
mean, okay, yes, there's a silver lining to
Yes,
this,
that's right.
but that's the most challenging, is that we have to take matters into our own hands to protect ourselves, because law enforcement is not there yet. The
Hmm.
government is not there yet to protect adequately the public.
Right. That's
It's
it's a little
scary to
scary.
think that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
I
said that
know.
too. It's a
I
little
know.
scary
I
when you
know.
think
I
about
know.
it.
That's why,
And all this technology is evolving so much,
yeah,
especially AI.
yeah,
So with the research of, let's say, with your research into AI's impact on financial
yeah.
markets, what are some risks and opportunities organizations should be aware of?
I always said it, AI is a superpower. We actually have in the palm of our hands resource to intelligence, like we have access to energy and power and electricity.
Exactly.
It has made
Mm-hmm.
us more efficient. The internet has made us more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
Now we actually have a resource of intelligence that makes us all more intelligent.
True.
So what happens is that AI is not gonna replace the human. Yes, it will replace certain fields, but who is going to replace the jobs is the people using AI to better themselves, to better their work. If you're not using AI within your field, then you will be replaced by the person using AI tools.
Okay.
So that's where like every field is going, is that you
Mm-hmm.
have to make yourself better by adopting this technology. I know people like hate adopting technology, but um, I think AI is one of the easiest and most quickest adopting
True.
technology. I mean, like even grandparents are on ChatGPT. I think it's like a wonderful tool for people, and to just slowly incorporate that. But like with any great superpower, and we can teach a superpower how to, if you give it to parents that will teach it how to be good, to be of service, to protect the public,
Mm-hmm.
then you build like Superman. But if you give this artificial intelligence and superpower to bad people, it of course will be a supervillain. And that's unfortunately the upside of having such great technology. There's always threats, imminent
Right.
threats, bad people that utilize the same technology. I do believe that AI, will fight AI, will fight the bad of AI. But thankfully, the good side of AI has been, doing research, and is more advanced than the bad side of AI. So, we're going to see a lot of great technologies come in. So it has AI has closed the gap between like computer engineering and any kind of field. So it's the first time ever that you don't have to be a coder or a developer. Actually, like
That's
AI
right. And use it.
closes
Exactly.
that gap. So instead of having, we're going to see a lot of medical, sort of engineering. Before
Mm-hmm.
it was like medical discoveries where we did research, and, we just happened to, discover, a cure. So now we're taking actually like computer engineering, which is AI, and the power of computing and, mathematical algorithms. And we're going to bring in like, and we have medical research, and
We're
that
gonna
goes together.
bring
So
them
it's,
together.
instead of having exactly discoveries, we're going to have medical engineering, where we're going to find cures a lot quicker. We're going to do trials a lot faster. There's going to be, genetic editing. So great discoveries in the life sciences.
Absolutely.
And of course, blockchain technology, as we see a lot of talk about Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's great to see this revolution. We are in a revolution, for people that fear this kind of like AI revolution, I mean, we've been using AI since like 1998. Like Google has been using AI,
That's
so
right.
it's
That's
not
right. For
something new.
it's new
It's
for us,
new. It's because
for
it's
the
hyped up, but we are in a revolution, and I always say it, like with every revolution, like the industrial revolution, the internet revolution, it comes a great, with every great revolution comes the evolution of
That's
the mankind. So
right.
we will
Absolutely.
evolve
We
accordingly. So
will.
no fear with that.
We will. It's
Yeah.
nice. It's nice to try it. It's nice to go through that path. It's
Yeah.
nice to, we have the tools to educate
Yeah.
ourselves. So why not? Right? That's
Why
how
not
I
make
see it.
yourself better?
Why not
Exactly.
make yourself better?
I
So,
tell my kids, like to embrace this technology, and, whether they like it or not, the schools have to teach the kids how to use, AI and machine learning. Because if they don't, they're going to have a hard time adapting. I mean, yes, the children need to build analytical skills,
hmm
but you can build those skills with tools that will just sharpen your work. I know that my work has transformed since I was able to rely on artificial intelligence, because, you cannot analyze all the data sets and all the information like AI does it. And what it does is it just, sort of narrows down
exactly.
a
So,
predictable kind of
and
result.
the time frame is much shorter instead
Crazy.
of you taking forever. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
So that's
Yeah,
why I
it's
could do
really,
more work and stop more criminals a lot quicker.
yay.
Yeah.
So, oh, but Bitcoin is another subject.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think we're gonna
Yeah.
have you on
My
again. We'll.
favorite subject. My
I know.
favorite.
Or we could organize a
Yes.
workshop on that. I know that's one of your favorite subjects as
Yes,
well.
it is. It
But
is.
back to cybersecurity. So, as one of the few women globally recognized in this field, what challenges have you faced, and how have you overcome them as a woman in
Um,
your field?
Yeah, in my field. Well, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a tough one. First of all, this field, unfortunately, is very technical, right? So
Right.
cybersecurity, there's different levels of cybersecurity. I work at a level that's, forensics, and not many people do the intrusion analysis and map out technical exploits that have
Mm-hmm.
never been seen before. So it's very hard to sort of teach people, because there's a learning process. Like law enforcement, the government has to learn that these threats are there. So there's already that sort of reticence from government and police to kind of like learn and to listen and to want to learn. So I find that very challenging to get, people on board to protect the public.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully they'll be forced to quickly. But especially as a woman, and my mom said it when I got into this and I started mapping out the technical exploit and building my own case. She says, but nobody's going to believe somebody looking like you.
I
So
love that.
she was right. So what I did was I got educated.
Okay.
So I went to this prestigious Science Technology Institute, got certified for cyber threat intelligence. Then I did the Harvard certification, and I did the the clinic research in cybersecurity at MIT.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, the more educated I get, the better and the more impact it will have when I do speak. And I think that, I always say it like, when you hunt for cyber criminals, you get a lot of people upset, especially when, they're not getting paid the millions of dollars that they're expecting.
Right.
But looking like this keeps me safe, because they think I'm too dumb to
There
capture them.
you
So
go. You
there you
see,
go.
there's always a
Yeah.
plus.
Love, I love being underestimated.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Then you have to, when you prove it, you love
Yeah.
the reaction.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because when they see me like walk into a room, or I, walk into a Zoom, and though I'm very bubbly here, when I
Yes.
talk about cyber, when I hunt down, when I do an investigation, let me tell you, I'm
Move
like a
over.
shark. I'm a
Move
shark.
over.
Yeah, in a lot of cases, like they said, when I walk into a room or even in a Zoom call, the floor shakes.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sure. That's great. What a great feeling.
Yeah.
So, do you have any future plans?
Um,
Or how do you see your role evolving in the industry of technology?
um, what's great is that, the more I'm out there, the more people know that they can rely on me. So the
True.
more, if organizations get impacted, or they want to protect themselves, they know who to call. So I get involved in a lot of, risk
Mhm.
management, and not only incident response, where when they are under attack, I come in to clean up. Like mitigation is basically cleaning up and trying to rebuild and to work out, the impact. But also now I'm doing a lot of like risk management, so to protect them before anything happens, do sort of ransomware simulation. Basically, I come into an organization and I look at all the little cracks that people don't think of, either with physical security or network security, because, like I said, one of the biggest threat is the threat on the inside.
Yeah.
Remember, it's always the unsuspecting, unusual suspect, I call them. It's, the friend of a friend, the quiet guy in marketing.
That's
The,
right.
the, the hackers and fraudsters are within your close environment. You don't have to look far.
Oh,
So I try to educate. So I think like my job has just begun. I try to educate as much as I can. And I try to, sort of come into an organization and I take it to heart to better protect themselves.
that's wonderful. That's
Yeah.
great. Well, too bad the time already finished. It went by so
No.
fast with you. We're gonna have to do another session or another Power Lunch
Yeah.
Live on different topics because you
Great.
have Bitcoin,
Yeah.
you have so many to discuss. You're full of knowledge
Full
and
of knowledge. Yeah.
you inspire every woman out there, and you're
Thank
also a
you.
mentor.
Thank you.
Um,
Well,
so
like
it's
yourself,
beautiful.
Andrea. I think it's like the Andreas.
Yeah, exactly. The A&A.
Yay, nay,
Which
that's
is
it.
great. So, if anybody has any questions, how do they reach you? I know this podcast is going to be transferred to Spotify,
Great.
and people can listen to it there, and you
Yeah.
can also see it on YouTube,
Yeah.
listen to it on YouTube. But if they have any questions, they can reach out
People can
by email.
connect with me on Instagram, via
Mhm.
LinkedIn. I'm not far. I'm just a message away. So I always love making new friends and networking with like-minded people.
Okay, wonderful. Thank
Yeah.
you. All right.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye,
you. Thank you,
everybody.
everyone. Thanks for the nice messages.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.